Live from Studio 5 in New York City, this is the News at 6.
Now, think about this. Is screen time hurting your relationships? The toll that binge watching can take on our friendships. An expert will join me live next with some ideas on how to plug back into the real world. Okay, we are back right now with our feature story for you tonight. You know, with Netflix and other streaming services, it's easy to spend hours a day just watching your favorite shows and movies, right? But all that screen time could come at the price of your relationships. A live guest will join me here in just a minute with some good advice. But first, Liz Dahlem takes a closer look for us tonight. Check this one out.
It's a beautiful day here in the park to spend with friends, but a new study says we're not doing much socializing. Instead, we're doing more binge watching.
I've been in Litchfield for a while now.
How's it going, kids?
Ever get caught up in watching an entire season of your favorite show?
You have no idea what it means to have nothing.
A new study says people spend more than twice as much time watching Netflix than they did with friends. According to the website cordcutting.com, the average Netflix subscriber watches for an hour and 40 minutes every day. Cordcutting.com compared that number to the Bureau of Labor Statistics American Time Use Survey, which says Americans spend 38 minutes socializing and communicating with each other every day. We took that information to Washington Square Park and asked people for ourselves. More time with friends or more time with Netflix?
Friends. 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 Netflix.
You know, looking at a screen is not a relationship.
Dr. Megan Fleming is a clinical psychologist specializing in relationships and sex. She believes technology can take a toll on having intimate connections.
I had a client earlier today, and she was mentioning, and frustrated, right, that this guy, he immediately requested her Facebook and Instagram and was looking at her Snapchat, but then when she reached out via text, crickets, right? So she was really frustrated. Like, on one hand, he's looking at her, what she's posting, he's really interested in her life, but when she's actually reached out to him, he's non-responsive.
Fleming says sometimes we have to put the phone or remote down to put ourselves out there and be vulnerable.
That's the thing about technology, is like, there's not a lot of risk there. There's not a lot of vulnerability. And I think that's the part that we're missing out on, is that in trying to be so safe and trying to just feel pleasure, because we don't want to feel the pain or the rejection or the abandonment, that we're paying a big price.
I feel like it's more fun to live in the moment than to spend life behind a camera taking pictures.
From Washington Square Park, Liz Dahlem, Fox 5 News.
Thank you.
Everybody's having fun out there. Thank you, Liz. Okay, joining me right now is Dr. Ben Michaelis, a Manhattan psychologist. Ben, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on the show.
It's a
Ernie.
good subject. You know, I want to get your take on this. Is technology taking its toll, Netflix in particular, as we were watching, on personal relationships?
It is. I mean, technology is a wonderful thing, and it does help to connect us and bring us together and allows us to do things that we wouldn't normally get to do.
Right.
But too much of a blessing can be a curse, and it definitely is taking its toll on people's relationships, people's intimate lives. I mean, I hear about that all the time in my office.
I'm sure you do. I mean, this is important. You were specifically saying that even Netflix now, I mean, it like has captured people and sort of drives them in. It's like almost like an addiction, you were telling me.
It is. They really invented the concept of binge watching.
Yeah.
And the way, when the shows end, it goes right into the next show, and they're delivering really high quality programming, but it's so easy, and we tend to, when we work really hard, at the end of the day, we sort of want to come home and do things that are easy, and in the short term, it feels great, but in the long term, it's having a negative impact on our relationships, on our health, and even our intimate lives.
Well, this is where you come in, okay? This is the part where I'm going to get some free advice on everybody else watching us, okay?
It may not be free. I'm going to have to charge you.
Okay, I understand. You got to make $1. But what do you tell your clients? What do you say in terms of giving them advice how to get reconnected?
So there's a few things. When things are too easy, you want to kind of make them harder, and when things are too hard, you want to make them easier. So things like Netflix, you can use technology to turn off your Wi-Fi for a few hours a day so that you're not automatically doing this.
That's good. That's good.
And there are apps that will keep your Wi-Fi off. You can give your Wi-Fi password to your wife or to your partner as a way to stop doing that for a little while. Again, it's a good thing, but just not too much of it. And then you can also, when you are socializing, staying out, for example, because after work, if you say, oh, I want to spend time with my partner, going out.
I know what you're going to say. You come home and you get back into that same pattern.
The same routine. And so breaking that up, and again, if you have plans, the more you can do in advance. So if we're going to commit to doing something on a Thursday night, it's already in the book. It gets easier that way.
Okay, quickly, have you found success with this advice that you give your clients?
I have, absolutely. Yeah. And making rule sets. So for example, one young man was having a difficult time. He was addicted to Netflix. He was between jobs. And so we just made a rule that no Netflix from 8 to 8. And it really helped him because he used that time to work on his resumes instead, and then after 8 he went back to it.
That's great. Dr. Ben Michaelis, we thank you so much for joining us. And as we say, stay tuned. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Good weekend.